Broadcasting from various countries around the world using voice over IP technology, this is VoIPon Covered, a VoIPon Solutions UK podcast. I'm Kathleen Reed. Joining us today is Dmitry Bayev, the Director of Product Development for Industry Dynamics. Industry Dynamics, makers of VoiceGear, offer an integrated Skype gateway and a PBX that supports a variety of analog, digital, SIP, and hybrid PBX systems. The feature set includes long distance, click-to-call, and the ability to send SMS messages through Skype. Thanks for joining us today, Dmitry. Why don't you tell us why a customer would integrate their PBX with Skype? Is it reliable for business calls?
Yes. First of all, let me briefly describe what are the major use cases that we've seen our customers using with VoiceGear Skype gateways. And there is about 5 or 6 primary use cases that we've seen. And some of the most popular ones would be something that we call Skype trunking. By virtue of using the VoiceGear Connect gateways with your PBX system, it allows all of your office staff to take advantage of cheap outgoing calls via Skype out. So these can be calls made to other Skype users, which are absolutely free. Those calls are made Skype to Skype, and also calls that are made to regular landline or mobile numbers, and those are charged at very minimal Skype out rates, which typically start at about 2 cents a minute, or there are some unlimited subscriptions, which are country-based. And then there is also other use cases where customers are utilizing Skype click-to-call button functionality. If, say, you are some sort of a call center or you're in an e-commerce site, then you can have a Skype click-to-call button placed on your website, and then any customer who comes to visit your website clicks on the button, and that makes a Skype call from the customer directly to the VoiceGear Connect system, which is connected to your PBX. Then the call is transferred from Skype to your PBX and off to any department within your company. Other use cases that we've seen prominent with some companies, it's actually with their mobile work. So in this case, if you have staff who are traveling in business, perhaps they have Skype running on their laptops or on their mobile phones and so on. And in this case, instead of having them pay for roaming calls when they want to call back to the office, or the head office needs to pay long distance in order to reach out to an employee who is traveling on business, now this communication can be done Skype to Skype. So a VoiceGear Connect gateway, which is placed in your office, can be used to initiate a Skype call to a mobile employee who's got Skype running on their laptop or their mobile phone or any other means that they have access to Skype. And recently, Skype, as you all know, has introduced services for iPhone, for BlackBerry, and for a number of other mobile platforms. So mobile communication is very big, and by having VoiceGear installed in your office, you're essentially creating a free link between any of your offices and the mobile workforce. A last use case, which is also very popular with larger enterprise companies, is global presence. So in this case, Skype offers virtual phone numbers in a number of countries around the world. And in this case, if you have offices in multiple countries, or you want to provide local dial-in numbers for customers in foreign countries, you can use Skype online numbers. So basically, any customer calling to that online number will instantly reach the VoiceGear Connect gateway, which is connected to your PBX. The call will get transferred to your PBX as if it's a local call made to your local phone number wherever your office is located. And of course, in this case, you're saving money because you're not paying for those incoming calls, and also it's a local call for the customer.
Okay, thanks, Dmitry. So we understand this product works with a company's existing PBX using SIP. Who is a typical customer that would purchase such a system?
One thing I'd like to mention here is that we do fully support SIP with a full range of PBX systems, but it's not limited to SIP connectivity only. We, in fact, support analog connections as well as ISD and PRI connections. So, in fact, VoiceGear Connect systems can work with, I would say, pretty much any PBX SIP, analog or digital. The second aspect here, who's a typical customer, this really depends on the business cases that we just covered. Seen a lot of use from university type of customers. And universities are typically using VoiceGear systems for accepting incoming Skype calls. So a lot of universities want to publish their Skype accounts or maybe Skype click-to-call buttons to let potential students get in touch with the university, especially those where there is a large number of international students. We've seen a lot of hotel and hospitality type of businesses interested in the VoiceGear system. Going beyond that, we've seen large use from all types of government organizations, VoIP service providers, especially those who want to give their existing subscribers access to Skype services. We've also seen big use from various international healthcare agencies.
So, Dmitry, at what point does the upfront cost make sense for a business?
most cases, what we've seen is the return on investment is typically projected to be under 6 months. So even as you said, there is some upfront cost for obviously purchasing this type of equipment. The good thing is that the installation process is very seamless. So there is not a lot of time for configuration and installation. It's very much straightforward. Obviously, the cost savings come from a number of places. First of all is the free or really cheap outbound calling. Integration of mobile workforce into your PBX system, that's another big area of savings. In cases where organizations are deploying this type of technology in order to receive inbound calls, there are also big savings on 1-800 numbers.
Okay, thanks, Dmitry. And maybe you can tell us what's next for industry dynamics.
Yes, certainly. So we've seen the Skype market developing over the past few years. Over the past year, we've seen Skype pushing heavily into the business environment, which perfectly aligns with what industry dynamics is really doing here. And towards that end, Skype is releasing a new service, which is called Skype for SIP. This service is oriented towards businesses. The value of the service is Skype really trying to become more of a, if you wish, a VoIP service provider, because Skype has over 500 million users who are mostly consumer users. The next step for them would be to convert some of those consumer users who are using Skype at home and try to push them to use Skype at work. So what Skype has done with the Skype for SIP is they basically allowing you to connect your VoIP-enabled PBX system to Skype by virtue of having a SIP trunk from the PBX to the Skype server, and this is very similar to what a VoIP service provider is. This service is based on subscription, so there's a cost per line every month that the customer will have to pay. And towards that end, Industry Dynamics is actually developing a new product, which is slated to come out about a month from today, and this is going to be called VoiceGear Duo. It is going to be a gateway which enables any legacy PBX system. So if you have a PBX or a key system which has analog ports, either analog extension or analog line ports, it can be used with a VoiceGear Duo gateway to be connected to this new Skype SIP service. So this is really looking out to what is the next thing coming from Skype.
Okay, thanks again, Dmitry. Now, we've been asking our podcast participants their opinion of the state of the market. What do you think VoIPon's listeners can expect from VoIP and unified communications in the future? Where do you think the market in general is headed?
Well, one thing for sure is that unified communication is here to stay. There's two sides to this coin. From one end, a lot of people are seeing Skype as a consumer type of service. It gives you voice, it gives you video, chat capabilities, file transfers. But on the other side of this coin, take a moment to examine some of the enterprise unified communication solutions from some of the bigger players in this industry. What you'll see is that those players are really giving you all the same features. So a really, really good high-end unified communication solutions will give you voice, perhaps will give you video, perhaps it will have some chat capabilities where everything is built in. It will give you some presence capabilities, perhaps file transfer between employees of the same company, of course. So if you put these two offerings side to side, it is really interesting to see that what Skype has been doing for many, many years now is actually percolating into the larger enterprise and business environment. So while a lot of people are still thinking of Skype as a consumer service, we really think that Skype has all the right ingredients to really becoming a major player in enterprise. By working closely with Skype, Industry Dynamics is delivering the hardware which is necessary in order to be able to take advantage of the Skype services in a well-managed and secure type of setting that an enterprise requires. So by virtue of having VoiceGear systems installed along with your IT infrastructure and your PBX systems, you can take advantage of all the Skype features in a secure package tailored specifically for the enterprise use.
Great. Thanks, Dmitry, for your time. Dmitry Bayev is the Director of Product Development for Industry Dynamics. This has been a VoIPon Covered podcast. For more information, please visit www.voipon.co.uk.